Satellite moments. Satellite highs. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of The Jamie Hughes Show. My name as always is Jamie Hughes and today I'm going to be reviewing a street cat named Bob. As always, going to be giving you my straight down the middle opinions on this film, whether I liked it, disliked it, and everything sort of wrapped up in between. So let's jump into it, and I will say I did really enjoy this film. I don't know what my expectations were going into it. To be honest with you, I felt like it was going to be a kid's film. Like I knew it was based on a true story, but I felt like it was going to be really like kid orientated, and it was going to be really light and fun. And it was completely the opposite of that. It was obviously light and fun in bits, but it showed the real like dark and horrible side of being homeless and being like an addict, which I didn't think it was focused on. And I kind of like, without sounding really like almost like a ghoul here, I kind of liked that they added it in because it made you connect to the characters more and made you feel more invested in the storyline. And yeah, it was really a really enjoyable film. I before I get properly into it, I may let out some spoilers, but at the end of the day, it's based on a book, so you all kind of know that it was going to be a happy ending anyway. But the film centers around Lucas Treadwell's character, which is called James. He is a drug addict, sort of last chance at life. He wants to get clean, but he's struggling with it. He has an episode where he ODs, and then his social housing worker gives him one more chance at redemption, gets him a little rundown flat, I'm guessing just on the outskirts of London somewhere, and then that's where Bob comes in. Bob starts following him around, and the two then become inseparable and best friends. And there's a lot of stuff along the way. There's great stuff with like the supporting characters, how they intertwine and interject and help the story move along. Like I thought Anthony Head was great as James's dad because he was just a real like dickhead. Like, but then he wasn't at the same time. You can kind of understand where he came from. That's the one kind of thing I didn't really like. Just to touch on it quick, was like the scene with his dad right at the end of the film. It felt like, oh yeah, there's like 20 years of her, but we can make it all better in 30 seconds. Didn't really like think that was. I think there should have been more build up to that, but that's like, you know, it's minimal. It still worked. It still had the emotional effect that it set out to have. Yeah, I thought the cast was great. The one thing I didn't really like, I think they should have addressed it earlier, was James had like a kind of half Australian accent, mate, and then it would go to British, and then he would twan back in, and then they touched on it later on that he'd moved to Australia when he was a kid, and that was kind of why he had the Australian twang. But that should have been addressed sooner because it kind of took me out of the film a little bit earlier on. I was like, is this guy just really bad at acting, or like is he actually Australian? I didn't really know. I would have liked that to have been addressed a little bit earlier in the film. But other than that, I don't think I have any more complaints. I mean, they're little minuscule things. As I said, I think the story was great. I think it transcended from page to screen really, really well. I think it got the audience connected. It made you feel for all the characters involved. I said they've all got different stories going on, and I think they hit the mark with this. I really liked the camera work on it, especially like they used the camera where they use like Bob vision. That's the only way I can describe it, is when like Bob was walking around the house, they would use it from his point of view. And I think that worked really, really well. They didn't use too much of it, but they used like just enough where you could almost feel and connect and almost feel like Bob was like a real character in the scene that he was portraying, especially the scene with when he gets introduced to Betty. I thought that was really good, the way they did that with the camera works. I really like this. And yeah, I don't think there's much I can say that's bad about this film, or much like else than it is genuinely like a really good film. I was pleasantly surprised coming out the cinema because I like films that make you feel something. You know, like when you leave, like you feel like a connection to these characters, a connection to the film, and you feel something when you leave. Like you feel really happy, or really sad, or like inspired, and it kind of like, and that's like how it kind of hit with me. It felt like yeah, like life can be kind of shit, but like this guy got on with it and he dealt with it and he overcame and he got to write a book about him and his cat, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, it was just really like just a nice, good, solid British film is like how I could describe it. It's like yeah, it's a really good British film, and I'm glad that it's doing well in the box office. I think it gets released in a couple of weeks in America, so hopefully it does well over there. And hopefully this film can like boost like British films now, and we can get some great ones again, like we have been getting over the past few years. I don't know where I'm going with that. I was just waffling. I don't know, but yeah, I really enjoyed this film. I thought it was funny. It was emotional when it had to be. It was really like hard to watch when it had to be. It was in like the things that went on screen, and it really it made you feel something. And the best way I can sum this up is I thought I would never ever have an emotional connection with a cat on film, but I did, and it was brilliant. They did it excellently. They hit the nail on the head. Everything about this film worked well, and I applaud you, the team of A Street Cat Named Bob. So that is it. If you have seen A Street Cat Named Bob, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments below. As always, leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe. It will be helping me out massively. My name has been Jamie Hughes. This has been The Jamie Hughes Show. I will see you in the very next episode. Ta-ra!